Good afternoon, you ruddy lovely people. You're all very welcome along to the Lilywhite Lane YouTube channel. I hope that you're all having a smashing Tuesday and week wherever you are in the world and whatever you are planning to get up to. And you're all very welcome along to your latest and your greatest Tottenham Hotspur news that we are going to be going through in today's video. Got quite a bit to discuss, so enough faffing about, enough waffling. Let's get cracking with this knacking. And the first thing I want to talk about, the first report I want to talk about is one coming out yesterday that Rodrigo Bentancur could be set for a contract extension at Spurs. The club are looking to extend Rodrigo Bentancur's contract, and personally, I'm not against this at all. Do I think Rodrigo Bentancur is an exceptional football player? No. Do I think he's one of the best midfielders in the league, like some of our fans hype him up to be? No, not at all. But do I think he's a very solid midfielder? Yes. Do I think he's capable of brilliance? Yes. And do I think he's better than most of our other midfielders? Yes. I think he plays that box-to-box role brilliantly, did it in Italy really well, and did it unbelievably well when he first came to Spurs. The last couple of seasons when he's played, he hasn't really had any poor performances, but he also hasn't had any unreal ones, and I do think that's because he hasn't had a consistent run of games. Obviously, he had a lot of injury concerns and problems last season, and in this season he had that suspension for 7 games. I think when Bentancur gets a consistent run of games, we saw it when he first joined the club. We've seen it once he gets 3-4 games in a row where he starts or plays a part in. He's fantastic. He's very, very capable of being unreal. I really do believe that. I mean, under Antonio Conte, that was when we saw Bentancur at his best, in my opinion. When we signed him and Kulusevski, 2 of Paratici's best signings. They really, really are. And Bentancur fit into that team so well. So look, I'm not against this at all. He's no spring chicken, to be honest. I believe is he 26, 27, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Probably should have researched it. Not too professional from me coming on here, but he's no spring chicken, but he also has quite a few years left in him. And as I say, when it comes to aging with footballers, you never know when people can go off the ball. You've got someone like Dele Alli who's, 28? Nowhere near the player he was 3 years ago. And you had Benzema a couple of seasons ago, 35, on the best form of his career. So you don't know with football players. Bentancur, I reckon he's probably, you'd estimate maybe 3-4 years in his prime at his best still left in his career. So look, I'm a big fan of Bentancur. I don't think he's unreal like some of our fans hype him up to be, but I think he's a solid player. I think he's better than we've got. And a contract extension, I am all for it. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Look, Manuel Solomon ripping it up at Leeds. The fans there are absolutely loving him, and it does look like he could be sold to Leeds and move away from Spurs in the summer. This is not something I'd personally object to. I think he's a good player. He's ripping it up in the Championship. But how many players have we seen do that and come to a Premier League club on in the top half of the table? Although we're not that now, with expectations of a top half finish, and completely flop, you know. Barely got a game last season, had a lot of injury problems. He's done well at Leeds. Obviously, there are political factors with it, but I'd prefer to focus on what he does on the pitch. I think he's a good player, but I don't see where he really comes in, especially if we, which I think we need to. We're going to sign a winger in the summer. Where does he fit in? Because Son's going to stay, although I think he's on the decline. You've got Mikey Moore, who we're trying to develop, and over the years, who's going to get more game time. You've got Odobert, who we're trying to bring through. You've got Kulusevski. You've got a new winger, who I presume is coming in the summer, because if we don't, there'll be complete and utter outrage in the Spurs fan base. You've got Donnelly coming back from on loan, another one. Maybe can't reach the levels of a Mikey Moore, but developing. I don't really... Brennan Johnson as well, who we're going to keep. Personally, not the biggest fan. Will we keep Timo Werner? We'll wait and see about that. So, look, I think we need one top-class winger to sign in the summer. We don't need numbers in those positions now. We need pure and utter quality. And Manuel Solomon, he's a good player. But do we need to be going out there and signing good players? Do we need to be going out there and signing players who might do all right when they come in? No, we need consistent brilliance. I want to see us go out there and sign an Burma and Eze, someone who's going to come in and make a difference in that Spurs team. So look, Manuel Solomon, comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Not really a piece of news, but I wanted to discuss this. Christian Romero's fitness, right? Because it doesn't look like he's going to be ready this weekend or this week against Manchester City either. And I was looking at the percentages. The percentages are in the 60 for fitness for Spurs, and the percentages are in the 80s when it comes to fitness for Argentina. It really does feel like he prioritises Argentina and playing for his country over playing for his club, and you have to question the guy's commitment. I personally have for a while, and when you look at that stat, it shows it. And look, this relates to something I do want to talk about news-wise. There's been a lot of rumours and reports over the last few months of Christian Romero potentially moving away in the summer. And a lot of Spurs fans are like, no way we can sell this guy. He's our best player. Is he a very solid defender? Yes. But do I think if we lose him, it's one of the biggest losses at the club? Do I think it's like losing a Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld? No, I don't. He's unreal for Argentina. He's very good or good for Spurs. Unreal in the finals for Argentina when they've won trophies. He's good in the ones that he plays for Spurs. You see what I'm getting at here? If he's great for Argentina, obviously he's better than Lo Celso, so I'm not making the comparison of quality of the two, but Lo Celso was outrageous for Argentina, and people saying we should keep him because of what he does there. I care about what he does at Spurs. And Romero, don't get me wrong, he's been good for the most part, but he's got a bad injury and fitness record, especially coming up to international breaks, and this season he's really gone off the boil. It does look like his eyes are elsewhere, and do you really want to keep someone who's more committed to his country, who's looking for a move away, who has a terrible fitness record? No, go out there and sign someone maybe like a, I don't know, Tomori to come into the back line with a Danzo and Mickey van der Ven. Those are the sort of players I want. People commit to Spurs, who want it for Spurs. And don't get me wrong, he called out the owners, which I thought was fantastic in December time, but the constant rumours, the talk of being proud of the links to Real Madrid and stuff, you know, Porro did that as well. The fitness record, the fact that when he's played this season, he really hasn't been anything special. I think Van der Ven's a better player than him. I think he's good, but I do think he's overhyped by our fans, and he's unreal for Argentina, but not for Spurs. I think we could get a great offer for Romero as well. I really do believe we could get 80 to 100 million, maybe even a little bit more. 60 to 70 million I would probably accept. Most Spurs fans would say 80, 90, 100 million because of the way the market's going right now with inflation in football as well. So Christian Romero, would you guys sell him? Should he stay or should he go now? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on that. Look, Manor Solomon, will he go to Leeds? Would you like him to go to Leeds? Would you like to keep him at Spurs? Bentancur, would you like to extend a contract? And what do you think about Romero's fitness record? And do you think that's because he's got his eyes elsewhere when it comes to Argentina and a potential move away? You guys have been awesome. Take care of yourselves. Have a smashing rest of your day and week. And as always, come on you Spurs, Enoch and Leave.